A pleasure to meet all at last, and here we are at it once again with some Hot Wheels Hilarity content, courtesy of Streamlabs. Again, thanks very much for sponsoring practically this whole season's worth of content. And of course, YouTube, basically for being the main provider of this content as a whole. Though if you are able to catch these streams in Streamlabs, make sure you follow me there as well. But for the most part, what I got here, seeing that I certainly have had a lot of hard work done on other projects, though I will say at least finding some good amounts of time for Hot Wheels Hilarity has certainly been able to eventually lead up to a point like this. Yeah, basically, it's another basic setup. Of course, you probably remember this track builder stunt kit that I got a hold of not too long ago, and I even featured it in the previous season of HWH. But what we're going to do here is we're going to follow a similar format, since of course the box shows many different options that you can pull off. And for the record, I do in fact have a total of 30 cars that I picked out. I'd say probably one of the best selections I've made thus far, both in this line here as well as this bucket. Now, the bucket will become important later. For now though, we're just going to do probably one of the most popular setups of this whole kit, which is to arrange it in the special loop and intersection layout. I guess we'll just simply call it the rollback, by all means. All I gotta do is simply load the launcher, and hopefully the car will be able to move through, and if we do it right, we just might be able to in fact get all the way to what is supposed to be a ramp piece right here, as there are in fact a bunch of other accessories that come along with the set itself. But until then, we're just going to kick things off here with the Volvo 850 Estate. Certainly one of the best Volvo models we got, though I'm sure that with the XC40 Recharge, Mattel is going to start, you know, including Volvo a little more often. I do hope to see a lot more from them. Oh! Okay. You know, that was a pretty good start. I don't want to see it screwed up. Well, it doesn't really matter anyways, because, you know, I kind of have to expect everybody to do fairly well. Yeah, right back in my hands. Well, that's just power pipes for you. It almost does seem like I'm passing time here in a good way, in a way. Shelby Cobra 427 SC follows suit. Oh, yeah, kind of unreachable. I probably wouldn't be able to get it even with my grabbing device, which you've probably seen before. Okay, Lotus Esprit S1 is up next. And okay, so just like the Shelby, we got a loser back there. 2016 Ford GT Race is up next. Well, I guess we gotta go and expect models like this. Most of them that have splitters and spoilers don't exactly do too well. Well, I guess we have an exception. It barely made it around this loop though. Was able to roll back just fine, though ended up going pretty slow as it did. Now we have the Aston Martin 177, which I haven't had on HWH in a while. Oh! Okay, so same problem as the Volvo. This Aston Martin hits the intersection. Wow. Clips it, but still makes it all the way through. Though, unlike power pipes, the Aston Martin managed to fall to the floor, so not much more could be said. Now we have a Buick Riviera, which is a personal favorite of mine. A long body like this is known to cause some dragging issues, especially in tight curves. Ouch. Right in the backside. And it's mostly because of this sort of design that you can see right here. Yeah, you see that. Yeah. Especially this part of the front, so not exactly a good way to race around. Yeah, these kinds of launchers are not readily made for this type of stuff, so moving on. Here we have the Ford Escort RS 2000, which is a little more recent compared to the RS 1600. Being made as far back as 1983, so kind of a big step up. Alright, there you go. That's a good way to eventually get the win. Now I have this 2007 Chevrolet Tahoe, which does alright in some tracks. Well, looks like this one, it has a perfect run. Exactly what I'm hoping to see a little more often in HWH history. Here we have another favorite of mine, Tantrum. This kind of Easter color scheme, complete with the lavender and gold, definitely has some great highlights. But you know what? It also has some nice performance, despite being a smaller frame. Here we have another good model that I remembered, all the way back in 2017, El Viento. Of course, if you remember Cloak and Dagger, well, this has a similar thing going, where basically you can remove the top section and it becomes pretty much like any topless roadster. Ah, jeez. But it's okay. Oh! Yeah, that's not a good way to put things together. Well, I probably did have to... I would have eventually had to go back there and grab those two, so glad I got it over with. Okay. This one's another favorite of mine. On the realistic model scale, we have the Lancia Stratos. Leaps right off the track and crashes into the accessories that I had. Because, of course, well, I'll reveal more details on it later. Alright, there you go. That's exactly what I want to see. Now I have Bone Shaker, a model that also hasn't had much influence in the series. Well, there you go. Classic simply beats that. Yeah, it's a pretty good pun if you ask me. Now I have Bat to the Blade, which is also a model that hasn't been around very much. At least not recently. Probably because I've been paving the way for some more of the newer models that we got. As a matter of fact, I have since gone ahead and bought a ton of new models, both for 2023 and 2024's lineup. Sure is great that we got ourselves a bunch of 2024 models already in stores. Well, that's enough of that. Looks like Bat to the Blade isn't very good at this whole thing, you know. Finally, we have the Alpine A110. This is another model that I really love. Well, I got an Alpine A110. Look what I managed to find. Synchro. So, you know what? I'm just going to skip the Alpine. It doesn't seem like it's going to do very well, but a surprise appearance, Synchro. Alright. That's awesome. I can't believe Synchro was hiding over there the whole time. But okay. What we're going to do here is put together a different layout, pretty much. So let's just go ahead and disassemble this whole thing. And not exactly sure if I've done this before, but what we're going to do here is something that I'm pretty sure will be fun, you know? I'm pretty sure that it will be fun, you know? Not exactly betting on it being something that is going to be seen as enjoyable, but at the same time, not exactly looking to. Well, okay, looks like we have ourselves. I'm gonna take off the tripod here. Yeah, after all, this is still technically in stream mode. But what we got here is, well, simply put, a top hat, you know. Have this unique hill crest sitting on top of the layout as opposed to it being something that probably would have been connected on this part here. So what we're going to do is, well, what you think we're going to do. Simply put, have these bucket models. Could say it's almost like a take on a bucket list, but I guess that'd be a little generous. And I guess that pretty much does it based on collecting the cars. All I gotta do now is, well, find a way to catch them all. I'd say this plastic bag will have to do. And if I can get them to yeah, I guess that'll probably do on this whole part. So let's just begin part 2 of this whole thing, out of 2, since this is all that I got to work with here. First up, we have the Chrysler Firepower concept, which, if you might remember from Season 6, I unveiled this along with tons of new models. Oh, okay. Maybe that was a little too hard. Well, at least they made it. That's a good thing. I'm gonna go with maybe 3/4 of force. Now I'm gonna have the McLaren F1 GTR trail up. Yeah. That was pretty sweet. Kind of epic if you ask me. Now let's try Carbide, an Acceleracers model. Yeah, you know what? I'll just leave it there. Like that. Here we have a Range Rover Velar, which is an impressive model by any means. Well, there you go. Another victory. Subaru Impreza is up next. Or Impreza WRX. Huh. Did some sick drifting moves on the track on the way down. Here we have a 2020 model, Road Bandit. This one's got a killer design, as well as some unique colors, but unfortunately isn't too good on the track. Well, as I've said, try full power this time. Yeah, that didn't go so well. So let's just move on here to reverb. Yeah, I'm finally gonna have reverb come back again. Kind of overshot, but whatever. Still technically made it. Now we're gonna have Mega Duty, yet another awesome model. I was just gonna say awesome, but I guess I'm a little too soon for that. Or maybe a little too late for that, who knows. Now I'm gonna go for the 72 Corvette Stingray convertible. Oh! That was pretty insane, if you ask me. Just flew right off there. Here's another personal favorite of mine, the Buick Wildcat concept, which is a 1995 release. It's one of a kind, if you ask me. Can only imagine if the Wildcat would ever come back in real life. I could probably imagine it being probably similar in appearance to, let's say, the Ferrari Pista, with a little more on the rounded scale, like a Mustang or something. Next is the Track Ripper, which is one of the first new models I picked up when I started the series. Okay, wow. Had some airtime, landed perfectly on the track, and then just slammed right into the windowsill. Okay. Shelby GT350R. That was a little weak. That was a little strong, caused it to do a barrel roll in a pretty epic way. Muscle Tone is what's up next. Okay. That's a little strong. Alright, well, this guy's Hyperfin. Also pretty strong. So let's maybe go half power first. Because the last one is Nitrium. Alright. Well, if you ask me, that was a lot of fun right there. But I guess after all that's said and done, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this whole thing take place. And, well, consider sticking around if you want to see me clean up this whole thing while I, well, get everything together here. Otherwise, do feel free to exit the stream, as I will in fact be including all this as part of the timing that I plan on doing for today. Because I'd rather not have it cut off too early nor too late. Alright, I'm pretty sure this will do. So, just like that, looks like another day with Streamlabs and YouTube when Hot Wheels Hilarity Season 10 is all good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this bit of what I have to offer here, and more importantly, make sure you stick around because I will in fact have a few more bits before I intend on ending the season, and likely Streamlabs will want to work with me some more, perhaps for the next season of HWH. For now though, I will probably carry on with some more streams for this season.